Researchers and patriots. Q Army versus the China virus, brought to you live every day. Ready, guys? Boom, boom, boom. That's right. We got some booms today. Information is Q. Where we Wizinator one, we Wizinator all. Fight. And fight we will. We fight here every day on the Matrixxx Groove Hour. Welcome, everybody. Today is, what is the date today? It is, 9/8, September 8th, 2020. We are getting closer and closer to the election. And with that, let me bring in my partner in justice, Shady Groove. Shady.
Hello, sir. How are you today? I hope everyone out there had a wonderful vacation weekend. I saw that the boats were going crazy. America is standing up. Patriots are in control, and the deep state is on the run, my friend. I'm happy to be here and glad to see everyone today.
Hey, Shady, did you see the Biden boat parade?
Oh, I did.
Oh, you're supposed to say no. And I'm going to say, neither did I. Because no, I saw no Biden boat parade except in memes, guys. Except in memes.
That's the one I was talking about where they were in the little bathtub. There was like 4 of them in the boat.
That's right. And here we go. We're going to bring in Keck Productions. What's up, Mr. Keck? We're going to have a conversation today. Come and say hi.
What's going on, everybody? What's up, Shady?
How's it going, my friend? Glad to have you with us today.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
So we've been digging quite a bit there with Keck and the China stuff. So do you want me to call you by your name? Can I do that or no?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right, this is Jeremy. Jeremy, thank you and welcome to the show. Shady, myself, Jeremy, I was out of pocket yesterday, and boy, I tell you, we got a lot of digging that I kind of started getting lost there, Jer.
Yeah, well, everything's so far connected. I mean, once you get on a source and you start following it down, a rabbit hole, it's easy to get caught up into another rabbit hole. Eventually it leads you back around to where you started from.
That's right.
So the entanglement is just unreal.
I mean, look at this, man. We got Q post 748, and it leads to a 747 Q post. It says flowers and gardens. Learn the hidden symbolism, and it goes into slave gardens. What does a flower represent? What does deflower represent? Think children. Think slaves. Think sheep. Q. Now, Jeremy, you found this Lee family crest, didn't you?
Yeah, through stuff that you and I were working on back and forth.
So look at this. Look at Korea. The Korean Empire. Look at their seal, folks. So, when Q says, are you looking, and then look at Japan. We know Abe was a Lee. Look at their family crest. Very similar. And then let's think children. Well, China is struggling to engineer a baby boom after scrapping their one-child policy. What about slaves? Whoa, 2.9 million trapped in modern-day slavery, guys.
That's insane.
What about monkeys and sheep? Think sheep. Oh my gosh, look at the first monkey clone with technique that made Dolly the sheep. And guess what else they're cloning, guys? Look at this.
People.
These people are sick. What do you think of that, folks? I mean, you just cannot make this stuff up. You know what I mean? So, Jeremy, we also then looked at, and I don't know if I can find it on my Twitter timeline. There's been so much, but oh, by the way, breaking news: the Q movie that was probably going to do a hit piece on all of us it's regretfully they must announce that due to continuing arrests of Austin Steinbart and the embarrassing popularity of the trending hashtag Free the Wizinator, we may now be pulling the films released indefinitely. We'll continue to update the status of the film and the days ahead and send notifications through the link above. Steve Lucesco.
Who's imprisonating the Wizinator?
I don't know. What does a Wizinator look like? Oh, boy. I don't know. So I don't really like to talk about this guy because, you know, I don't really care. But we do know we had a heads up that we were actually going to be part of their attack. So I'm happy to report that Q, if you guys think this is Q, he smokes pot and he uses a fake penis to do drug tests.
To try to hide it while he is he's currently on release from his last charges.
Yay. Isn't that awesome? All right.
Good for him.
And so just so everyone knows, Q will not be posting because he is currently incarcerated.
Although he was posting while he was wizinating. Just FYI. Let me go ahead and I'm going to scroll down because we did that dig. Remember the Lee Labs, guys. So this is very important to understand when you start looking at this stuff, because the Lee Labs are basically financed by foundation, and there's bloodlines everywhere in this, if you will. So I'm going to try to cruise down a little bit. Oh, this is the boat parade, guys. The Trump War Room. This was in Jupiter. The Trump War Room retweeted this, guys. Check it out. Look at all those beautiful patriots in Jupiter. There's over 7,000 boats in Georgia. I don't see any Biden. It was funny. I was watching some little kids try to take pictures with the backdrop of the what do you call it, the boats, and I said, if you focus really hard, you get through those Biden flags, you can get one of the Trump flags in there. By the way, this is the U.S. Coast Guard who actually runs the Jupiter Lighthouse, and that is where the president will be speaking today at 3 p.m. in front of the Jupiter Lighthouse as the backdrop. And look at this. This is the Coast Guard. This flag was actually sitting there at the Coast Guard, and they did a flyover. Look at this.
Isn't that amazing?
Look at that. That's our U.S. Coast Guard that runs the Jupiter Lighthouse, folks. Flying over beautiful patriots. And I got this. So this is where the president will be today. This is a cool little picture right in front of that Jupiter Lighthouse. President today, 3 p.m. Eastern, guys. And I have somebody coming in that's actually going to be there. I was trying to get in, but I was too late. But we'll get them. We'll get some live updates from the ground. We have an InTheMatrixx.com reporter on the ground, folks.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, let me just keep going this because we are. And Jeremy, I'm going to turn it over, and we're just going to have like we do, you, me, and Shady. Like we just kind of have a discussion about stuff, right? And we got, by the way, I think Thursday we're going to have Your Burn Bro, who's a Purple Heart, and we're going to discuss the Atlantic article along with Your Burn Bro, Shady.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I hope he can get over here.
Yep, looks like we're confirmed. I think it's Thursday, guys, so stay tuned. I mean, we've got people with Purple Hearts. Oh, by the way, Alyssa Milano was begging to get Biden at 10 million. If you just look at reality, guys, the reality is that we're killing them. Look at this.
It's right in front of you.
It's right here. Look at that. And so if you look at the difference, here we go. Biden communists are begging for Joe's Twitter followers to hit 10 million. Trump, who's American first, he's America first, guys, has 87.5 million at the time of this post. So 87.5 million minus 9.2 million, that difference is 78,300,000 followers, guys. But Beijing Joel is reading in the polls.
He's reading into polls by 10 points.
By 10 points.
By 10 points.
10 points or more, Shady Groove.
China's actually a free and loving country.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Wait, Towley, come on, I need you.
I'm never working for a company that's regulated by a communist government.
Okay. No more selling to the Chinese.
Then say it. Say the Chinese government.
Say it, guys.
Chinese
Say it.
government.
Say
I
it.
didn't hear you.
The Chinese government. There.
There. All right. So, also, Jeremy, let's go into this real quick. You found this as well. What Lee actually means.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's like one of those digs that, you and I end up texting each other all night long as the phone vibrates. You get up, you just start digging at it. Lee actually is about the Confucius concept, proper conduct. There's a way to sustain social and just order through basically mind control.
Yeah, so let's look at what Lee means. It's the concept often renders as ritual, proper conduct, or propriety. Originally Lee denoted court rights, right? So this is interesting. If you look at what Lee means, it's the sustained social and cosmic order. They thought you would follow the stars. Lee actually means they thought you'd follow the stars to form formal social roles like social justice, like what we're seeing. And this is they want formal social justice roles and institutions that, in their view, the ancients have abstracted from cosmic models to order communal life. From customary patterns, Lee actually came to mean conventional norms. Your new normal. Yielding a new concept of internalized code of civility that defined proper human conduct. Wear a mask, 6 feet apart. Hey, elbow bump. I'm not.
No more handshaking.
Yeah, no more handshaking, no more hugs. Elbow bump. This is a concept in both celebrated throughout the early cores of the Confucian literature and codified in the Confucian classic called the Li Ji, Record of Rights, transcending mere politeness or convention. So also, this is huge, guys. Remember, God wins. But these guys Lee is central to Confucian human-centered religiousness. Guys, taking God out.
Removing it completely is the end goal here.
So then you've got the natural order. So NWO might be natural world order. Lee retains a cosmic role. They thought you'd follow the stars in its enchantment of human experience by harmonizing it with nature. So very, very interesting stuff right there.
Well, I think that really does kick off a lot of what we would already know of as the Communist Manifesto, the way of destruction of social order, the debilitating, the way they're debilitating people from having a conversation. You literally can't talk to people around these silly little rules, i.e., 6 feet apart, and then conveniently enough, 6 feet apart makes their AI more able to see and know who you are in stores and shopping malls and football games.
That's right.
So they're sort of separating everybody so that they can see who everyone is, so they can see who's not wearing a mask,
right,
who's not conforming, who is doing, who's doing their bidding in the streets of Portland, so that we can award them.
That's right. And they're all acting like commies, man. And they're we can go into that too, because we've got ties to everything, and we're going to go through that in a minute. But look at this. This is the Chinese government, Communist Government Institutes here in the United States. It's called the Confucius Institute. Make sure you have one. See if you have one in your town. But
they're everywhere.
Let's take a look. Shady, do you see the Cult 9-3 in there?
I see it perfectly plain as day.
You see the backwards 9? Wait, that's a forwards 9 and a 3.
Forward 9.
And 3, 1, 2, 3, right there.
Yep.
I mean, you just can't make this stuff up, man. All right, so this is the Communist China's Confucius Institute. They have spy agencies and governments increasingly alarming us and you. There's Panda, right? That's wonderful, isn't it? Isn't that great? So Pompeo is hopeful that the Communist Chinese Confucius Institute will be gone by the U.S. year end. And by the way, right after I did this tweet, Pompeo did a tweet about the Confucius schools and their spies. And we're going to kind of take you through that. So these are the headquarters of the Confucius Institute, Shady. Isn't that in Washington, D.C., where we love our Constitution? Oh, no, wait, it's Beijing, where they hate our Constitution.
It sure is.
And why are these Democrats or social justice warriors, even never Trumpers, why are they wanting to take down all of our symbolism that we've had throughout our years in history? Even if it's bad, we learn from our history. If you don't understand history, it's liable to repeat itself. Wouldn't it seem like that China would want God out of our country? Wouldn't it seem like that China would want all these, relics of, statues and Ben Franklin and signers of our Constitution, Washington, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson? Do you think that China would want them out of our lives, Shady?
They would absolutely. They want them out of our lives. And let's just pull back for a second and see what is really happening here. They are erasing history so that what? So the weaponized minds. They have an army of weaponized minds out there right now. So think about it. They got all these people in the streets, all these George Soros people, all of these quote unquote Antifa people. Most of these people are white liberals that came out of colleges. Right. Most of them are. And so they're weaponized right now. They're currently weaponized. So if they leave your history in place, you know what's going to happen? One day they're going to learn something.
Right. They're going to figure it out.
If they can use them to remove all of our history for them, then there isn't going to be anything there for them to remember. And what we're seeing right now with the president standing directly up to that, he is squared off with it directly. He's not coming at this from like some weird angle. This is literally China or America. You're voting for China or America. If you're voting for a governor that's on the West Coast, I don't care which 3 or 4 of them it is, they're all for China. Period. Right. End of story. Period. All these mayors are for China. And these institutes in your cities are infiltration zones where they're lurking into your communities and what? Spying on you.
Yeah, and I'm looking in here. Look at the list here: University of California, Santa Barbara, Stanford, San Diego, Lee. Even Broward County public schools, the high school guys. I mean, we got to get this virus out of our country, and what we're doing is we're showing you the virus, folks.
Well, part of what the president is doing too right now with the what is it called? Citizen something theory. I can't think of what it's called, but he's removing that. That is the core of all this. The 1619 Project, race theory, critical race theory. That's what it is. Critical race theory is now being talked about by the president of the United States, which is a cornerstone of Common Core, which is weaponizing the minds of the kids against your country. They're basically saying that America was created to make sure to perpetuate slavery. That's right. Literally the cornerstone of this propaganda.
That's right. And we didn't destroy. Oh, here's another Lee who died twice. That doctor, apparently he died twice.
It happens.
It happens sometimes, right?
It's been known to happen.
It's a big club, and Trump ain't in it.
Yep.
They're all saying, "Oh, why would the president talk bad about John McCain?" Well, you know why. We know why, right? He's hanging there with ISIS. Huh. All right, so I'm trying to actually go down to. Remember, we did the dig. Oh my gosh! See, look at how much stuff happens all the time. I mean, look at all this stuff.
It's hard to keep current.
I mean, because it's like, we've just done so much. This is, this is Biden being asked the Q. Did you see this? But what we got to understand is Biden, he's the president, vice president of the United States in politics. He's made this problem. He sold us to China, guys. Follow the family. He actually set up the meeting between Z and Obama. Corruption in D.C., how to get rich. Are any liberals willfully, are they blind, Shady? Or ... Is that paid off or something crazy like that? Biden's brother, $1.5 billion contract in Iraq. Biden's son, $1.5 billion deal with China. Coincidence? Drain the swamp. Q. So, I mean, let's just hear him real quick. This is weird. Look at him. Look at him looking down.
What would you say to the supporters of the QAnon, the people who believe in that conspiracy, what they think is true about America, that there's sex trafficking and a conspiracy against President Trump? And what would you say to President Trump for not rejecting that conspiracy?
Let's just hear him.
People who believe in it.
I've been a big supporter of mental health.
There was no card on
I
that.
recommend that people who believe it maybe should take advantage while it still exists in the Affordable Care Act. It's bizarre. Totally bizarre.
It's bizarre.
And now,
How bizarre?
you guys found that plane load of people in uniforms and weapons and flying around. I mean, you know, have you found
Yeah,
them
we're
yet?
seeing them in our cities, Joe.
Yep.
Is anybody even from, and by the way, I respect conservative and liberal points of view in the press. Anybody
you don't.
found that plane? What in God's name are we doing? Look at how it makes us look around the world. It's mortifying. It's embarrassing, and it's dangerous.
It is embarrassing.
It's dangerous.
To him.
Exactly.
If the president doesn't know better, which he has to know better,
He has to.
then my Lord, we're in much more trouble than I ever thought we were.
Oh, you're in trouble, buddy.
And, you know, this is a case where, you know, I've been surprised, pleased but surprised, with folks I've had political arguments with, like the former governor of Michigan, coming out and endorsing me. All the Republicans are endorsing me. They're rich where I am. That this can't go on. I mean, this cannot go on.
Oh, yes, it can.
It's a deconstruction of a democratic system.
Yes, it
Yes,
is. Boom.
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 So I just,
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
There's no card
I'll
on it.
conclude with what you heard me say many times before. The words of a president matter. Even a lousy president.
Oh. Wow. And by the way, Joe.
Your jobs. And by the way, it's not Biden. It's not Biden.
Yeah, let's play again. Sorry.
Your jobs. And by the way, it's not Biden. It's not Biden.
Cool. Who is it? President.
It's his masters.
His masters.
They tell him what to do, his masters.
What do you think of that? So who are his masters? Let's listen to this.
See China rise. To continue to rise in a responsible way that will benefit you most, China, because you have an important role to play. A rising China can be a significant asset for the region and the world, and selfishly for the United States. We want to see China rise.
Do you want to see China rise, guys?
Not really. We had a person in the chat. I can't find the comment, but saying what plane is he talking about? The president the other day during the press conference came out and said that he was told by a personal friend of a plane ride that he had taken with a bunch of the Antifa members who were on the plane dressed in black. And he made this comment at the press conference as kind of cannon fodder for the press to jump all over and claim that it wasn't real. And so that's kind of a spinning plate right now.
Yeah, it's that's what they do.
He said basically what we are doing is we are consistently setting them up. What your president is doing whenever he speaks something that you've never heard before, think of it like a seed. He is planting a seed. That seed will soon grow into a small plant that will soon get bigger in things like like ISIS and all of these other different things that he's predicted around the world. Well, that's what he's doing. Hydroxychloroquine, it's another seed. He's planting a seed that's going to grow later. And this plane ride thing, I think he was giving us a little bit of a clue to something that's going to happen in the future.
That's right. Absolutely. Well said. I mean, we got Hunter Biden still is serving China. He's still making money off the Xinjiang region.
Still on the board.
Yep. And that's the Xinjiang region, which we have the executive order on from the Treasury, folks.
I mean, we have it to where they're accusing, don't mean to jump ahead, but they're accusing Joe Biden of trying to kill Shokin.
You jumped ahead. You jumped ahead. No, it's all good. But it's true. It's not that they're accusing. They're investigating him, Shady.
Like literally an open investigation.
Here we go.
Into
let's watch
it. The campaign, yeah.
Let's watch it.
Віктор Миколаївич Шокін не виключає з огляду на ті обставини, які передували всім цим подіям, на перший замах, на другий замах на його життя, на готування замаху до його життя у 2015 році, на те, що це може бути пов'язано, в тому числі і з Джозефом Байденом.
So February 24, State Bureau of Investigation opened a criminal proceedings regarding the pressure of Victor Shokin when he was Prosecutor General. A U.S. citizen is indicated here. What is this information? It's the information about committing by Joseph Biden, a U.S. citizen, of a criminal offense.
Who?
Joseph Biden. Article 343, the Criminal Code of Ukraine, namely influence. Influence against Victor Shokin as a Prosecutor General of Ukraine. Assuming that Joe Biden could have been the person ordering the poisoning of Victor Shokin, what are the reasons for such intent? Given his position, the information available to him first and foremost, but not exclusively, regarding the investigation of a criminal crisis, Myzoka Zelensky and Burisma, Joseph Biden's interest in these criminal proceedings is absolutely evident. And the fact that here to date, according to the media, these criminal proceedings have been resumed, given his principal position as then Prosecutor General, and also because he actually had some information. As the head of the law enforcement agency at the time, regarding the investigation and the factual circumstances, well, for us, at least for me, the interest is quite apparent. Remember, he said, we're not going to give you your aid. So is Victor Shokin's life in danger now? Apparently today, Victor Milosevic is undergoing treatment. According to the doctor, his condition is stable. Nothing threatens his life at this time. However, the physical activity and psycho-emotional stress are counter-indicative for him. The level of poison, which was life-threatening 6 months ago and led to 2 cardiac arrests and actual clinical death, has been reduced several times. So that's what your vice president, is up to, guys. And we're not really talking about this in the community, but this is from NABU, N-A-B-U, leaks. And this is the 3rd video posted that it got like 1,000 views. That's it.
Well, don't you think it's kind of interesting, the connections here? Like, for instance, like they're talking about the poisoning and the, what went on with Shogun. Well, let's look back at some of the other things that have happened, like the other poisonings that have happened. Like they're constantly, isn't it interesting that Vladimir Putin is constantly poisoning people, right? Like there was the British couple a couple of years ago, other foreign dignitaries, people that are getting poisoned. Do you really think that Vladimir Putin is the one doing the poisoning?
Right.
Think about it logically.
China.
Is he being targeted? China.
Because China gave a big loan to Ukraine. It's Russia that is not interfering in elections. It's China. Now, Jeremy.
Ukraine was, pretty much a dry run for what they were trying to do here. I mean, literally, like that was their practice, their immediate practice before they set the streets on fire. I mean, they did the same thing. They undermined the police there. They undermined confidence in the judicial system. And then they went into multiple cities with protests. And then the protesters started burning and looting. And then next thing you know, you got snipers on top of the buildings in the Capitol shooting people, and you have a war. Boom.
Yes,
very
and
easy.
Mickey, it's not Soviet style. No. It's China. Communist style.
China.
Right? So Mickey Molina, welcome. How you guys doing out there? Venezuela. China controls that too. I mean,
we're kind of operating on the thesis that Russia was always a distraction, guys. Okay, now like think Cold War, all of it, everything was a complete distraction, a setup to avoid anyone from seeing what's really going on. That's kind of the premise we're working with here.
Yeah, if people think this is like a 2 or 3 decade old plan, I mean,
this is centuries.
You're back. So we're all mad here, throwing up Mongol style. Yeah, I mean, this is Lee. So the Lee family runs the triads, right? The triads run Hong Kong. Triads are all Freemason. There's 8 main triad groups, but now, how many are there now, Jeremy?
In Hong Kong, there's 60.
60 in Hong Kong. But they have set up in Vancouver. They have set up in San Fran, Nancy Pelosi, London, Manchester, Amsterdam, not to mention Macau and Hong Kong, right? These are some of the biggest bases of the triad operation. Money is made by extorting, gambling, prostitution. Jeffrey Epstein. Think Jeffrey Epstein as an appendage of this operation. There's also in Israel Epstein that lived in China who is a communist, okay? And he also faked his own death, so apparently he didn't kill himself too. So money is made by extorting, gambling, prostitution, drugs, or any other way to make a profit. And so these triads have worked in the CIA in creating the drug network. Here's the other part, Jeremy. This is when we were just doing the digging. They are linked to Pelosi's father. You want to explain that a little bit, Jeremy?
Basically, the mob and the triads worked together side by side doing different ventures. And it's all basically linked back to the foundations. They all had underlining, because Pelosi's father as a mayor was never directly tied to anything illegal, but it's the people he ran with.
Right.
So if you take the people he ran with and then you go start digging on them, I mean, it basically all links back to these banks. Like, Chase Bank, all the different foundations that they have set up, they can't hide it.
I mean, we found bigwig at the Bank of America, which is the Paysur Bank, right? So, who is a Lee. So keep going. So the triads control MS-13. San Francisco in the U.S., it's the Wong family, not the Wright family, but the Wong family.
It's Wong?
Left is right, right is left. Wong. Triads.
Right is Wong.
Wong. Something went wrong here, Shady.
Something went wrong.
In the United States. And people are asking for your echo in a minute, so you got to do that in a minute. But the triads are an occult fraternity, which have developed into a major international organized crime society. It has many agreements, guys, with Illuminati families and works for them. So the Wo, the Rung, the Tung, the Chuen, and the Xing, and the Fuck Yi Hing, or is it Fook? And the Yian and the Luen. So we've heard of Luen quite a bit in some of the politics, but we'll go with that. So these are the original triad groups. One of the triad groups that works on the Illuminati is the Sun Yian, a.k.a. Yian, Commercial and Industrial Guild. Sun V on the was one of the prime controllers of the Kowloon walled city, which produced sex toys for the international market. Besides Wo Xing and Wo, the Sun Yian, the third great triad society of modern times is the 14K Society. Probably the Chiang Kai-shek and his mentor Big-Eared II were responsible for setting up a league to oversee the various triad groups and called the Five Continents. Over the 5 continents, overseas Chinese Hung League, guys. So
China